Well, they obviously they were coming off the biggest victory of the year for them. They beat Troy. They beat them a lot of different ways. Number one, offensively, they create some problems with their matchups. They misplaced personnel, a lot of motions out of empty back into the backfield and out of it as well. Their quarterback was a Sun Belt Player of the Week, actually. He's done a great job getting rid of the football, taking the pressure off his offensive line. With Ambrose being one of the fastest guy in the Sun Belt Conference, they've used him real effectively as well. Scored 4 touchdowns with him with jet sweeps and screen passes and everything. And as well as running the ball really well. The quarterback can run the football. So they've had some explosive plays. Defensively, they run a lot of the out front, which is, you're getting pressure from everywhere. And they disguise it really well. There's a lot of guys jammed up in there, trying to create confusion for an offensive line. And that's how they got to Troy. They held Troy to 14 points. They created turnovers. They got themselves in just great down and distance situations and capitalized. And then on special teams, they'll provide a bunch of different looks as well, particularly their punt team. They have faked, I think, 4 punts already this season. And, which obviously creates an awareness because their punter is a quarterback, and their up back is kind of their wildcat guy. So they got a couple offensive weapons on the punt team that can create situation where you have to be really aware of them and cover them down. So, but overall, they're playing good football, real sound football, disciplined football, and it's going to be a real good game on Saturday.
Going back to the quarterback, what kind of offense do you see from the quarterback? Because I looked up the stats and I seen that he leads the team in passing as well as in rushing.
Yeah.
I've seen games where he's thrown 40 times, and there's games where he's rushed for 70 yards, 80 yards. What do you see out of that quarterback?
Well, a couple things. Number one, if you go back to last year, they actually have a senior on the squad who last year was a real good quarterback for them, and he has been benched in favor of this freshman. So that speaks, I think, volumes of what Browning can do for the football team. Anytime you have a quarterback that can run, obviously you must change what you do defensively. You must account for him in the running game. And he's not only a guy that can read it and run with it, he designs plays where he's getting downhill with the football as well. He's effective in the quick game. He's been good with play action. He's very detailed in his meshes and everything he does. They changed the launch point for him, so he's not always sitting in the pocket having to throw the football. And with all that movement, with all that play action, they've created a good game plan for him, and he's been effective. His completion percentage is high, and his receivers done a good job catching the football as well.
The importance of this game, actually, coming off of last week, and what's still in front of you, and you can't use the message to the team. The season's there for you to take, but it could get away from you too if you let it.
Well, I mean, I think what's the most important thing, and I think it's every week, regardless of the previous week, is this week is the most important game of the season. It's the most important game in the country in the mindset of our football program. And that's where it's always got to be. There's plenty to learn from last week, and there was plenty to learn from the week before that as well. But I certainly feel that with the work that we put in terms of third down, in terms of the red zone, in terms of ball security, and working on different things to try to maximize the use of our athletes as much as possible, I think it's going to show better results. And, our guys, they want to get out there, they want to play ball. And I think that's the part about football. It's frustrating. You got to wait an entire week before you go out there again and play football and get going again.
Do you get into big picture stuff with them? Those X number of wins we're going to need to get to that bowl game, and we have this many left. Do you talk to them about that at all?
You have to, because it's always going to be there. It's always going to be brought to their attention, but you make sure it's put on the back burner. You present that early on, so the big picture is they're well aware of it, and then you hone it down. You focus on what's at the present moment, because if you lose sight of what's here, you're not going to get over there. So I think you have to handle it. You can't ignore it. I think ignoring it and kind of pretending it's not there is not a good thing, because it's not real. And our approach to everything we do is very real. So we're aware of the big picture, but fully knowing that 100% of our focus has to be on the now to continue working our way to the big picture.
You talked about third down efficiency, something you need to improve on. What this week have you done to stress that?
Well, part of it is execution. We're going to continue to design plays that allow us to be efficient and create situations or sometimes it could be a little bit of an easier throw, an easier run other times. But at the same time, there are times where there are good football teams that we're playing with good football players. You must make the contested catch. You must make the tough yard. If a block is missed, you got to find a way to break a tackle. Then again, you can't miss a block. So all those little things I think are important, as well as continue to look at things game plan wise, and you can create situations and plays that could help alleviate some of those situations.
Last week you had Rhodes rushing for 100 yards. The week before that you had Perry about 98. The week before that you had Mallory Is this Harden's week?
He's had a great week of practice. You know, he is 100% healthy again, which is good, you know, which is real good. And Mallory seems to be working his way back to health. Kedrick, we'll see. You know, he tweaked his knee a little bit, you know. So we'll find out. And, you know, it's a good thing. The competition at that position has made that position better. And I think it's one thing that we've been lacking over a couple of years is a solid running game. The thing is, we think we could be a great running team. We don't think we could just be a solid running offense. We could run the ball. We feel we could run the ball really, really well. ULM does pose problems with the way they mix and the way they stack a couple extra guys in there. Sometimes it looks like a 9-man box, you know. But you still have to run the football. You can't abandon the run. So yeah, you know, between Harden and, you know, you can't say enough about Derek Perry. I mean, Derek Perry has found the tough yards. I mean, there's a guy that has gone through the arm tackle. He's broken through the flush hit and made some yards, and it's been very tough. And for him to bounce back a week after or 2 weeks after he actually cracked, you know, a rib, it looks like, oh, I wouldn't say cracked, but, you know, had a significant shot to the shoulder and rib area. You know, we're going to depend on him too.
Has he really become your goal line guy? I mean, it seems like he's the one you turn to when those, you know, those 2-3 yards are needed.
He's had success down there. He has, but we've had a couple other guys that are down there too. Kedrick's done it down there. Jeremiah's done it down there. You know, Wayne's done it down there. So, you know, depending on what we see where we can put that ball in the end zone, we're going to go with that.
The importance of it being homecoming week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, always, you know, in front of your family, your friends, university community, you want to do extremely well. And our guys, you know, they love playing in front of our home crowd. They love playing at home. It's an opportunity to get back home. We haven't been home much. You know, I think this is our third game at home so far, going into week 8. So our guys are pretty fired up.